How we doing, Heat Nation? Ernest here, back with another Miami Heat Talk video. Before we get rocking and rolling on another Miami Heat Talk adventure, guys, please take a moment, smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Got some goodies for you today. So, as of today, we know that the Miami Heat are taking on the Los Angeles Lakers tonight at 10 p.m. It's a late game. Hope you guys are going to stay up to watch it. I will do my best. I mentioned it a little bit yesterday, but the injury report is starting to come in. It looks like tonight we're going to be a depleted roster again. You got no Jimmy Butler. He's out with the foot injury. You got Hayward Highsmith out in concussion protocol. Caleb Martin is still out with that ankle injury. The only person that is questionable is Josh Richardson with that back injury. So those are our top four premier defenders. So these are the four guys that usually take the challenge on guarding guys like LeBron James. So if these four guys are going to be out tonight, it's going to be very difficult for the Heat to win tonight's game. I know that the odds are stacked against us, but at the end of the day, we have Bam Adebayo, we have Tyler Hero, we have Jaime Jaquez Jr., we have Duncan Robinson. At any given night, these four guys can dominate, give you an incredible showing, and the Heat can possibly win this game. The chances of the Heat winning, it's usually 50-50, but with this depleted roster, it's probably 30-70, but I still believe. I know that Heat can pull out the dub tonight, especially on this West Coast trip. You have no idea how much momentum that would give the Miami Heat. So I'm really looking forward to that game tonight. But there's something I wanted to talk to you guys about, and I wanted to see what you guys thought about. And I know people might hate on the comments saying it's clickbait or whatever, but I like to tell you guys that whenever there's an update, I'm going to let you guys know. So a few days ago, there was like a little rumor, a little inclination out there that Gordon Hayward from the Charlotte Hornets might be looking to get out of Charlotte. Now, as of now, Gordon Hayward is out with an injury. He's not playing for Charlotte right now. It's nothing serious. He will be coming back. But there's been a little bit of suggestioning that it's possible that Gordon Hayward can end up to the Miami Heat. Now, the likelihood is very small via trade. Gordon Hayward is on the last year of his contract making $31 million. As we know with NBA trades, I see some people in the past say, just give him Thomas Bryant and a first-round draft pick. It's not the way it works. When you make trades in the NBA, especially in the middle of the season where rosters are filled and contracts are stacked out and teams are usually over the salary cap, if not hovering around it, you can't take more money than what you're giving out. So you got to match these salaries. So the only player that the Miami Heat can match with Gordon Hayward's $31 million is Kyle Lowry. But honestly, you guys, I don't really would like to trade Kyle Lowry for a Gordon Hayward. And it's not because Gordon Hayward's having a bad season, you guys. He's played 25 games. He's averaging 14.5 points, almost 5 rebounds, almost 5 assists, a steal a game. He's averaging 46% for the field, 36% behind the three-point line. He's 6'7", 225 pounds. You can easily plug him into the starting power forward position next to Bam Adebayo. I think he might be a good fit on this roster. Now, defensively, he's not known for that, but he could hold his own. And I think if you plug Gordon Hayward as a starting power forward next to Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, this team does improve more offensively. However, it's like I've said in the past, you guys, I don't believe that this Miami Heat roster needs to make a trade. I don't think that a trade is a must. I would hate to trade a guy like Kyle Lowry because if you trade Kyle Lowry for Gordon Hayward, you are putting a huge hole at the point guard position. Now, valid. You can throw Tyler Hero in the starting point guard position. Josh Richardson can come off the bench and play the backup role. But Kyle Lowry is the only natural point guard we have on this team. And it's not just because of his size, you guys. It's because of the intelligence he has out there. I've said this multiple times. Kyle Lowry is a type of guy that does things that doesn't show in the box score. He doesn't go out there and average 18, 19 points a game anymore like he did in Toronto. But what he does out there, his intelligence helps us win games. I've mentioned this in the past. When Kyle Lowry's out there, the plus and minus, he's always at the plus. He's always helping the team win games and make amazing plays. I mean, just to give you an example, the playoffs last year, when the Miami Heat got into that momentum and Giannis Antetokounmpo was trying to call a timeout and Kyle Lowry just smacked the ball away from him and gave it to the team, it shows you what level of intelligence Kyle Lowry has. So I don't want to trade that for a guy that, honestly, we have multiple players that play that position. He plays the small forward, power forward position. It's a wing type of position. You got guys like Jimmy Butler, Josh Richardson, Jaime Jaquez Jr., Duncan Robinson. You have Caleb Martin. You have multiple players that play that mixed 3-4 position. Now, where Gordon Hayward would fit perfectly with this Miami Heat team is one reason and one specific reason only, and I've mentioned this in the past. Look for Gordon Hayward and the Charlotte Hornets to possibly discuss a buyout. The Charlotte Hornets are the bottom 3 of the Eastern Conference. There is no need for them to try to compete. You know they're saving for the LaMelo Ball in the future. They're trying to get that high draft choice to pair somebody with LaMelo Ball. It's going to be difficult for Charlotte to bring in a big-time free agent. But what they can do right now, they can get this $31 million contract from Gordon Hayward off their books. Now, I don't think Charlotte's just going to try to buy Gordon Hayward out. They're going to try to trade him, because at the end of the day, if you know you're going to lose Gordon Hayward, he's in the final year of his contract, he's most likely going to leave them and go somewhere else. It's beneficial for Charlotte to try to trade him and get something back. Maybe like a future second round draft pick, or maybe a young asset. That's something that I think Charlotte's going to try to entertain, because you don't want to lose the guy for nothing. But here's the thing. The other 29 teams in the NBA know the same thing. If I'm one of the other 29 teams, why would I give Charlotte a future second round draft pick or cash consideration for a guy that I know that's going to leave? Here's why. If you're a contending team and you see that Gordon Hayward could get bought out and just sign with another team for the minimum, then you want to try to make a trade for him so you can keep him in your roster. Or you can get him in your roster, excuse me. If that's the case, then let him go, forget it. Because trading for $31 million is going to be extremely difficult. You have to give a player a value. That's why I believe Gordon Hayward is not going to get traded. If he was making $8 to $10 million, then yeah, the Heat would have no chance in a buyout or trading for him. I would understand that. But the fact that he's making $31 million tells me that a team is not just going to up and trade for him, because they have to give up something of value. So what's going to happen is Charlotte's going to dangle Gordon Hayward to all these teams. The teams are going to say, he makes too much money. No. So Charlotte's going to have to decide, do we keep him or do we buy him out and let him sign with another team? Buying Gordon Hayward's contract out is beneficial for Charlotte, so they don't have to pay him all that money. And it's also beneficial for Gordon because he gets his money and then he gets to go to a contender to try to compete for a championship. That's what NBA players want. They want the bag, and then they want the opportunity to compete for a championship. But the true question is going to lie with Gordon Hayward. What does he want? Does he want to get that money? Because let's be honest, you guys, that $120 million contract he signed a few years ago, that's what he's going to get. After this season, he's not going to get a big bag like that. With his season averages, he could get a nice contract. He can get something like 3 years, $40 to $50 million. But what if he wins an NBA championship? What if he gets bought out? What if he comes to the Miami Heat and he's able to win an NBA championship? The Miami Heat or another contender like Boston, Milwaukee, Philadelphia, Denver, the Lakers. Gordon Hayward is going to be the prettiest girl at the dance if he gets bought out. And then it's going to be the Miami Heat's flexibility and opportunity to snag him up. And I would love to see Gordon Hayward in this roster because he can help us in multiple ways offensively. And that's something that the Miami Heat struggle with sometimes. Now, is he the perfect solution as the starting power forward? I've said this in the past. I would love a guy that's 6'10 to 7 feet tall, that can space the floor, hit the open three, similar to Kelly Olynyk, even though he's crazy slow, like people said. But that dude dropped 19 points on us in the game against Utah we played against. But anyways, Gordon Hayward for the right price, I think would be a perfect fit. Now, the true question is, who would we rather have starting at point guard? Because if Gordon Hayward comes here, you know he's probably going to take minutes from either Haywood Highsmith or Caleb Martin. Caleb Martin is just too good. He has just too much high value. But bringing Gordon Hayward here in a buyout will help us because now this gives Eric Spoelstra another toy to play with. The chances of Gordon Hayward coming here via buyout, it's going to be slim. You're going to have to convince Gordon Hayward, kind of like what you did with Kevin Love last year. When the Heat bought out Kevin Love last year, their promise to him was playing time, a starting role. So it's going to be really difficult to see what happens with Gordon Hayward the next few weeks because the trade deadline is next month. He can get traded to another team. But like I said, it's going to be difficult to trade for him because he's making $31 million. You got to match that salary. So it's going to be incredibly difficult. So I want to hear from you guys. Do you think Gordon Hayward would be a great fit to the Miami Heat team via buyout? Or do you think we are good enough, we don't need a guy like that, and we can pick up someone different? Maybe a 7-foot power forward or center next to Bam. Or maybe you can go after someone like Tyus Jones. There's a lot of different options out there. Bleacher Report did report yesterday that the top 3 candidates the Miami Heat are going for in the trade bracket is Donovan Mitchell, Pascal Siakam, or Tyus Jones. Those are names that have come up, but Gordon Hayward I don't think is a possible trade candidate. He's a possible buyout candidate. All the signs are perfect. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Would you like to see Gordon Hayward here in the Miami Heat? Do you think it's a possibility? The Heat tried. We tried pushing for him back in 2017. We gave him a huge sales pitch. We had his pictures all up Biscayne Boulevard. He chose to sign with Boston instead of Miami. But he actually said, after his meeting with Miami, he called his agent and he said, Miami's it. It's the team. So this would be a beautiful full circle, bringing Gordon Hayward to the Miami Heat, play alongside Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, help us get that championship. His season averages are good enough to help us win, I believe. Someone will have to take a back seat, but that's going to be the great thing about bringing Gordon Hayward here. Eric Spoelstra is matchup friendly. He's not just going to have a set 8 to 9 players. In the playoffs, he's going to see what his matchups are, and he's going to play his strongest players against that. That's the beautiful thing about Spo. Gordon Hayward is already going to get his money. You come here with the possibility of winning a championship, you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to click that like and subscribe button. Click that notification bell to get all my updates, you guys. I am praying that the Heat pull out the dub tonight against the Lakers. I want to see LeBron James go down to the Miami Heat. Let's go ahead and get that support, you guys. Let's keep that positivity. And until next time, your boy Ernest out. That's enough said. Let's go Heat.